Hello friends, my name is Ramsu. Today we'll discuss about the topic Scrum versus traditional project management. Friend, this is a very important topic. If you are studying project management in university or you are planning to give exam related to Scrum or project management, so this is a very important topic, and you will see this topic in the exam. At least 3 to 4 questions will definitely be there in the exam, in which your concept related to Scrum or traditional project management, which is Waterfall, should be checked. Secondly, friend, if you are a professional project manager and working in any organization as a project manager or a Scrum master or product owner, so again this is very important that to understand the concept of a Scrum and Waterfall and how we can use different methodologies in different projects. So friend, let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. Scrum versus traditional project management. First of all, friend, we have to understand that what is traditional project management and what is Scrum. Only then we can move forward to understand the difference between these two methodologies. Friend, basically, we can say that mainly we have nowadays two methodologies: traditional project management and Scrum for managing the projects. Okay, a Scrum is a methodology which we used for the software development to manage the software development projects. Friend, Waterfall is another approach which we use for managing the software projects. And when we talk about traditional project management, we are basically referring to the waterfall approach normally. So basically we are referring to difference between waterfall approach and the Scrum approach. Uh, Waterfall approach is approach which we use to manage the software development projects. The approach says that whenever we have to complete a project of software, what we do, we will plan all the things, then development, then testing, and then deployment. This is the very traditional approach of project management for software. Let's take an example here to understand the concept of waterfall, and then we talk about Scrum as well. Friend, let's take an example. For example, you have to implement an e-commerce solution for a customer which has, for example, which has 40 tasks to deliver, and you are using the waterfall approach to implement that project. So that means what you will do, you will plan all the 40 tasks, then develop all the 40 tasks, then test all the 40 tasks, and then deploy all the 40 tasks of e-commerce for a customer. This will be an approach of traditional approach or the approach of waterfall approach. What? Plan, develop, test, and then deploy. This is the approach of waterfall. Now if we use the Scrum approach, Scrum what says, Scrum is says that it introduced the concept of sprint. Sprint means 3 to 4 weeks time period. So what you will do, you take the 10 tasks for example, and sprint 1 will start. Sprint 1 will contain of 10 tasks. Then in the sprint 1 you will plan, develop, test, and deploy the 10 tasks, only the 10 tasks. Then the sprint 2 will have the next 10 tasks, sprint 3 will have the 10 tasks, and sprint 4 will have the last 10 tasks. In that way, friend, till we reach at sprint 4, we complete all the tasks for a project, and we successfully complete the project. So what is the difference now with the between the waterfall approach and the Scrum? Friend, in the waterfall approach, see what happened, that we cannot go back. If you start the testing phase, you cannot go back in the development phase. If the production deployment start, you cannot go back in the testing phase. So in the waterfall, all the things move in a sequential manner. However, in the Scrum approach, a Scrum works in a chunks. Okay, so we deliver something to customer, so he has some comfort, he has some ease that he is getting something, he knows that how his product is developing. However, in the waterfall approach, what happened, that when all the things has been developed and tested, then we provide it to the customer, and customer has to wait for a long time. Then what happened that if there is any feedback from customer, so it is difficult to accommodate in the development in the product. Why? Because all the things are already developed. However, in the Scrum, what happened that we receive the feedback from customer at a very early stage, and it is easier, it is for possible to adjust or accommodate the feedback of customer, because all the things are not developed yet, things are developing in the chunks. So it at that moment it is easier to adjust or accommodate the feedback of customer. So the traditional approach, it is the waterfall approach, and it works in a sequential manner. However, in the Scrum is the approach which is adaptable, adjustable, and flexible with respect to the customer and with respect to team as well. So these are the main core differences between the traditional approach of waterfall and the Scrum. Now, friend, remember, friend, one thing that uh, Scrum nowadays is very popular, and most of the companies, many companies, software companies, are moving towards a Scrum approach, and they are thinking that to leave the approach of traditional project management waterfall. However, friend, every approach, either it's a waterfall approach, either it's a Scrum approach, it has their own advantages and disadvantages. We cannot say like that the waterfall approach is obsolete or it is not possible to continue. Many companies are still on traditional approach, and the new coming companies, upcoming companies of software are moving towards Scrum. So what are the main core differences between the Scrum and the waterfall approach? First of all, friend, the approach emphasize on the Scrum is on people, and traditional project management has emphasized on the processes. The documentation in Scrum is minimal, very low. You can say only when required. However, in the waterfall approach, it's very comprehensive. Like we have to do documentation for everything, like a scope document, functional specifications, lesson learned, risk register. So many things are there in the traditional approach. However, in the Scrum, it is different, and we do documentation when it's basically required. Process style is iterative. Scrum works in an iterative approach. Like we do the adaptation, we do the incrementally, with in iteratively, we improve the things. However, the traditional approach is linear. Like we have to work like in a sequential manner. We cannot go back once the one session, one phase is started. Planning is Scrum is low, and traditional the planning is very high. Prioritization of requirements based on business value and regularly updated, fixed in the project plan. There is a difference, friend. See, in a Scrum, what happened? Like customer is giving feedback, and we are getting feedback from product owner as well in the Scrum. However, the traditional approach, what happened that whatever the requirements we received in the project plan, it fixed. Quality assurance is customer centric. Whatever the customer is saying, we have to listen about it, we have to think about it. However, the traditional approach, the it is process centric. Whatever the process says, we have to stick about it. Organization is in a Scrum is self organized. Like they don't need any boss, actually they are self organized. Traditional project management is dependent on a boss, a person who is managing, like project manager, a functional manager should be there. So it is a very big difference between these two approaches. Management style is decentralized. Decentralized means like many people are working, not only a single boss is there in the Scrum. However, in the traditional approach is centralized and managed by a single person. Change management updates to professional product backlog for formal change management. See, friend, in the Scrum, whenever there is a change, there will be change in the product backlog. Product backlog is a document which contains all the requirements. However, in the traditional approach, waterfall approach, we have a formal change management system. Leadership style is collaborative and servant leader. and the waterfall is having the command and control. Again, the bossy style is there. Performance measurement is dependent on business value, like how much you are getting the business value in a Scrum, and in the waterfall or traditional, it depends on plan conformity. Uh, Return on investment is dependent on early throughout project life, and in the traditional, it depends on end of project life. Customer involvement high throughout the project. Like in the Scrum, friend, the customer is involvement is very high throughout the project is very high. Like from day one, the customer will involving with you in with the team, with the product owner. However, in the traditional approach, varies depending on the project life cycle. However, friend, in the traditional approach, what happens that start the when we start the UAT, normally then a customer involved that, like from after plan develop testing and then UAT, user acceptance testing. In that phase, actually customer involved fully in the traditional approach. So friend, thank you, thanks a lot for your time, and I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thank you, thanks a lot for your time.